Okay, here we are in a new tutorial for computer art, looking at an example of a text art project. So what you can see here right now is I have an image in the background. My first layer here is an image of Michael Jordan, and then on top of that I have layered all these different layers of text. So if I scroll through my layers here, you can see I have a number of layers. Each word or short phrase has its own layer. And so I have repeated just single letters in some places. Things like, the side of the hoop here is made a little more easily by repeating the same letter. Repeating words for certain things that describe them, or just include things about your subject or person. So, words like passion, speed, hustle, all things that describe a basketball player, and so are things that I included. So, things to think about as you go ahead in your attempt in this project. So, main tool that we're going to be using is our type tool. The T here would give us the type tool, horizontal type tool. I have a couple other type tools if you click and hold in there, but we'll just use this horizontal type tool for now. And really what we're going to do first is I'll add another word. I think that a term that I was thinking about adding was maybe a rebound. So rebound is a term that is often used in basketball, and so I thought I'd use it in this project. And so this word here, what I want to do is actually transform it a little bit so it'll fit into the shape of the shoe here. You can change the font color. What you'll have to do is select the type tool and then click with that on your actual font in order to do things like change your font, the style, or the text color, which is right here in this bar. Will bring up your color picker. So that's where you'll find all that. The other thing that we want to actually really use is this is the text warp tool here, kind of curved letter underneath the T. And when you click on that, you'll bring up a box of different ways you can warp or twist your text. So really what I want to do now is just have an arc go lower. I think that looks like it would fit into the shoe there a little bit. You can add some bend if you want to take away some bend or add some bend to that. You can also horizontally distort things. And each one of these different items has a few different ways that you can really kind of twist and bend words. So right now I'm kind of going with this in a way that I think it will fit in the bottom of that shoe. So once I think I have it good, I'm going to kind of, oops, I didn't mean for that to happen. I wanted to rotate this. So I'm going to take this and kind of rotate it so that it'll fit at this kind of angle of the shoe. Oops, I dragged my center point there, didn't want to drag that. Make sure you click on the word somewhere and then move my positioning to the edge of the shoe there. So now I can just press enter on my keyboard to keep that transition, or the transformation rather, and now I have that word fitting there. So I'll go ahead and add another one. You may want to change the color of your text for certain things. If I can adjust this text box to fit right in the place where I'm gonna put words that may help you a little bit, just to know that it's kind of the right size as you get into it. I think another word that I had planned to use in here was hops, and so I'll go ahead and add that here, and then I'll just I can press Command A to select that entire word, or you can click and drag to highlight it. And I'm going to change the color of this to black because that is going to be overlapping part of his leg here. So what I'm going to do then is maybe make the size of this bigger, maybe 12. That fits that space a little bit better. And now I'll go into my warp tool, and let's see, let's try and choose something different. Maybe you want to use something like the bulge, so I get kind of like the round shape of the kind of the calf there. So if I want to increase bend, again, you can kind of bubble this out a little bit more. I don't think I want it to be that big. And then you have some horizontal distortion that you can do. That kind of makes it fit the shape of the leg a little better. Actually, I might just kind of keep some of that horizontal distortion. Vertical distortion, I'm not sure if I'll need it as much. I guess I like that angle a little bit better there. I'll say OK. Go over to my move tool, and now I'll just kind of take this and I'll nudge it with my keyboard, just pressing the down arrow to kind of get this where I think it'll be in the best place, and maybe rotate it just a smidge. And there we go. Another piece in there. Now you can press enter on your keyboard or switch to another tool and click apply on the dialog box. But ideally what happens is that when you turn off this image at the end, you should see a pretty complete image left in behind there. And so obviously I have a couple last places to fill in here before this is really complete. You know, maybe a word for the sock here and one other for the top side of the shoe. And then I could call it a day. But really the most important tool that we are going to be using today is that text warp tool. So when you have your type tool selected, your text warp options are right here in that curve with the T. And so I hope you have lots of luck and fun with being creative on this project.